WEPN New York, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Now on SportsCenter all night.
Super Bowl 57 comes down to a 27-yarder.
Mahomes steps up. He's going to scramble. He's at the 40, bad ankle 30, bad ankle 20. Tackle from behind down to the Eagle 18-yard line, a 25-yard scramble.
A battle of unbeatens in women's college basketball.
Lay in for Zaya up to 15 points.
Another major upset in men's college hoops.
He throws it up for grabs. He steals it. Here's Barry Lee past Barnheiser. Lays it in. 37 seconds to go. 61-57.
And in the NBA, Boston goes long distance again.
Contact, continuation, fires it off the glass and in. Celtics in front by 3 and a chance at a three-point play.
This is SportsCenter all night. Here's Jay Reynolds.
SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80.
These are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities we got right in front of us in our hands. So what you going to do? Dives for the far front pylon. Touchdown! He's going to score! Jalen Hurts. If we control the things we can, we damn do. Check the tackle on the right sideline. 10, 4, pack your bags. We're going to the Super Bowl. We are, and we cannot wait.
We knew the storylines. Andy Reid coaching the Chiefs against the team that he used to coach. The significance of two black quarterbacks starting the Super Bowl. The Kelsey brothers playing against each other. Also a Super Bowl first. But when we boiled it all down, it was time to play the game. And after Chris Stapleton's national anthem, an emotional one for Philly coach Nick Sirianni, the Eagles would take the opening kick and march down the field 5 minutes and 11 plays later.
First and goal at the 1. Quarterback sneak, and he's in for the touchdown.
First possession, first score of the game. With 5 minutes taken off the clock. Seemed a little too easy, but Kansas City would answer when it got the ball, and 6 plays later.
Mahomes in the pocket, floats a pass near side. Kelsey over the shoulder. He's got the catch. He's got the touchdown. Kansas City, a beautifully thrown ball as Mahomes to Kelsey, 18 yards. Officially, and the 14th time that Patrick Mahomes has found Travis Kelsey for a postseason touchdown, second in National Football League history.
106.5, the Wolf. After a 3-and-out by the Eagles, the Chiefs were on the verge of taking the lead, but a 42-yard field goal attempt from Harrison Butker doinks off the left upright, so it's 7-7 after the first. Then came what felt like a crucial second quarter. First play of the second quarter, in fact.
Double tight end. Hurts in the gun. Hurts. This time fakes. He's back. He's looking deep. He wants A.J. Brown. And it's caught for a touchdown. A.J. Brown.
It's double coverage. It doesn't matter.
It's a 45-yard touchdown hookup, which puts Philly back in front. Eagles then force the Chiefs to punt, 3-and-out. Philly gets the ball again. Chance to really open this one up. However,
spread set. Hurts by himself in the backfield. Threat to run and throw. Crouches down. He wants to run it. Cornell, the ball's out. He kicks the ball. It's picked up by Kansas City. They're going to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Kansas City. A defensive score by Nick Bolton. Hurts got hit and kicked the ball. Picked up by Bolton. And the Chiefs defense gets an incredible touchdown.
And that play ties the game at 14. But the Eagles don't break. They respond with a 12-play, 7-minute touchdown drive on their ensuing possession. Jalen Hurts caps it with a 4-yard TD run. Chiefs not able to do anything with their next possession, and even worse.
3rd and 15, Chiefs at their own 31 ball. Slow on the snap. Picked up by Mahomes at his shoe top. Trying to fight for more time to run. He'll scramble. He's at the 35, but he's ankle tackled there at the 36. And he's hurt. Mahomes is hurt. He got an ankle tackle that he'll get up limping, a gain of just 3 on the scramble.
106.5 the Wolves. Chiefs then punt. Eagles get the ball back. They kick a field goal to take a 10-point lead at the half. Philly outscoring the Chiefs 17-7 in the second quarter, with the only Kansas City points coming off the scoop and score on defense. Patrick Mahomes limping off in obvious pain in the waning moments of the first half, but the good news, Rihanna's performance, part of that extended halftime Super Bowl halftime show, giving Mahomes and the training staff some extra time to do whatever it is they do. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. So Kansas City comes out on a mission in the third with Mahomes still in the game. And after a total of 16 yards in the second quarter, they would drive 75 on the opening possession of the third.
Pacheco in the backfield, along with McKinnon. They hand it off. Left guard. It goes. Touchdown, Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco blasting in behind the block of Joe Tooney, the left guard, and the Chiefs get a badly needed touchdown drive on this first drive of the third quarter at 9:30 to go, third quarter.
Eagles answer with a field goal. Then Kansas City was back at it again. Another 75-yard drive.
Third down and 3 here at the Eagles' 5-yard line. Chiefs have not led in this game. They trail 27-21. They're going to throw a quick pass to Tony. He's got it on the edge. He will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Kadarius Toney on a pick route to the near side. Couldn't be more wide open. A 5-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes. And now Butker can give the Chiefs the first lead of the game.
And he does just that with 12 minutes to go in the fourth. Eagles then go 3 and out on their next possession, and the Chiefs take advantage on the out part.
At 10:33 to go in the game, Sipas will punt. End over end, shorter punt, and Tony will take it low at the 35. Now cuts back to the right. He's got a wall set. If he can get to the edge, they can either block the punter. They do. Tony's at the 40, up the sideline. At the 30, he's at the 20. Tony with the block trying to stay in play. He's down to the 5-yard line. Tony ran out of gas on a 65-yard punt return. And the Chiefs lead 28-27. They'll have first down and goal to go at the Eagles' 5-yard line with 10-11 to go in the game.
Huge special teams play from Kadarius Toney, putting the Chiefs in a great spot. And 3 plays later,
9:26 to go in the game. Third down, goal to go at the 4-yard line of Philadelphia. Audible called by Patrick Mahomes. Ball will be snapped in the center of the field with McKinnon, the running back. A pass left side, wide open, Sky Moore, touchdown! Kansas City on a pivot route, and Kansas City has a chance now to get up by 8 points on a 4-yard touchdown pass. Mahomes to Sky Moore.
they take the 8-point lead. The Eagles immediately answer. 8 plays, 75 yards in 4 minutes. Jalen Hurts, a 2-yard touchdown run, and then runs in the 2-point conversion to tie the game at 35. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Chiefs get the ball back, just over 5 minutes to go, tie game. Right where they want to be, right? And there would be a couple of key moments in this drive.
Pacheco's the running back. Tony comes in motion. Here comes pressure to the outside. As Mahomes steps up, he's going to scramble. He's at the 40, bad ankle, 30, bad ankle, 20. Tackled from behind down to the Eagle 18-yard line, a 25-yard scramble.
25 yards for Patrick Mahomes on that bum ankle. And Kansas City was now playing it, trying to get the score and leave Philly as little time as they could, if any. They get a key defensive holding call on third down. Eagles, James Bradbury, called for the hold. Kansas City was about to settle for a field goal, but the flag came out. Bradbury with the holding call. Social media went wild. Bradbury, for his part, after the game saying, quote, "It was holding. I tugged his jersey. I was hoping they would let it slide." They didn't. Fresh set of downs for Kansas City, and with time running down,
Townsend will hold it. 11 seconds left in Super Bowl 57, 35-35 tie. The kick is good, and Kansas City leads 38-35 with 8 seconds to go in regulation in Super Bowl 57.
Eagles get the ball back, but obviously don't have much time with which to work.
6 seconds left in Super Bowl 57 regulation. Hurts takes the snap. The Chiefs only rushing 2 on a delay. Clock is going to be out of time, and the pass is going to be underthrown. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Everyone who claims the Chiefs Kingdom will raise a banner above the National Football League again for the second time in 4 seasons. The Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection, a big red reflection. The Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 57.
106.5, the Wolves, 38-35, the final, third Super Bowl win in franchise history for the Chiefs. They played 20 games this season, including the postseason. They won 17 of those 20. That's a franchise best. Patrick Mahomes, 182 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, ran for 44 yards as well. He's named Super Bowl MVP.
This is amazing. Like, we won the Super Bowl. Like, this is happy. Like, you're just like a little kid winning a prize at the fair. I mean, whereas this one, you've dealt with failure. You understand how hard it is to get back on this stage and to win this game. I mean, I played in a Super Bowl where I got blown out, where it was I got all hyped up, and then you go out there and you don't do anything. And then I'll lose the AFC Championship game in overtime, where I thought we had a chance to win the Super Bowl that year. And have a full brand new team and have to go through the strain of being better and better every single day, it gives you a greater appreciation for winning this game.
Patrick Mahomes, 4th starting quarterback in NFL history to win multiple MVPs and multiple Super Bowls. ESPN analyst and former quarterback Tim Hasselbeck.
I think a lot of people, based on what they've seen from him, think that he's one of the best to ever play it, and he's got plenty of time left to play. You just said, 2 Super Bowl wins. It's been to 3 of them now. Look, if Andy Reid's going to continue to coach and they're going to continue to put good players around him, there's no reason to believe that this would be the last time we see him in these moments. And so once you win 2, you put yourself in a very small class of quarterbacks, and you start getting beyond that, and then it's a completely different conversation. And then obviously the way he plays the game is so different. It's changed the way people want to play the quarterback position. And so because of that, it's a really good start for Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes, first player in NFL history with multiple championships and multiple league MVPs within his first 6 seasons. As for Chiefs coach Andy Reid, he joins Bill Belichick and George Halas as the only head coaches to win multiple Super Bowl titles in their 20th season or later. He joined our primetime crew with Chris Berman.
When Patrick limps off late second quarter, it looked not great. Your thoughts? What's running through your head right then?
I thought he just needed some time. Those things, they kind of
sting and then they go away.
Yeah. And so he just bared down with it. And just try to get the guys over the trainers and everybody away from him so that he could just kind of have a moment there and get himself back. So he did a great job. I'm proud of him. I mean, I've been lucky to be around some good quarterbacks, one right here and other ones, man. I'm very fortunate. This guy is as close to Superman as
your defensive front. Can we just put a stake in the ground for those guys?
Yeah.
They answered the bell for 4 quarters.
No, they did, man. And the Eagles are a good football team.
Yeah,
I mean, I felt like we got down to this thing, and it was the 2 best teams, and it was just a heavyweight fight. And it all starts up front, as you know, with the offensive, defensive line. And I thought our defensive line rallied and just picked it up. We got off the field, which was big in that second half, and we were able to stay on the field as an offense. And I gave credit to the big guys all the way around. I mean, they were challenged.
So speaking of the big guys, you've been criticized a lot. Coach doesn't like to run the football. Tonight, you ran it down their throat. You outrushed one of the best offensive lines, and you outrushed them by 45 yards. Yeah. What does that feel like, buddy?
Yeah.
That's got to feel good.
No, listen, man, there's a little O-line in me. I mean, Steve and I were raised to throw the ball, but we know also that you got to reach down and you got to when you need to run it, and that's what happened.
Many different looks. Look, 2 weeks, okay, game, but was this, you knew this week or maybe last week that Patrick, we can run almost everything, right? 98%, 99% of normal. We got all sorts of different looks. And then in the second half, down 10, you said our front can block. We're going to split 4 guys, try to go get Patrick. You knew that your line would hold up. But different looks. That was as wild a 2-week game plan as you've had?
Well, it was a good one. I'm proud of the coaches and the job they did putting it together, man. Again, both sides. And then sticking to it and utilizing it and not panicking. And it worked out okay. We knew we could run it. We knew we could do that. And it was just a matter of sustaining drives with it and mixing things up with those little rhythm passes that we had early, getting the ball out fast and running the football. And that's kind of the way we start trying to get into a flow or rhythm. And the guys did. I mean, they did a great job. Eric Bieniemy as a coordinator, phenomenal job. Spags on the defensive side. I mean, it was crazy. Great game plan.
Coach, we love you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Man. Appreciate you.
Andy Reid with Chris Berman, Booger McFarland, and Hall of Famer Steve Young. Reid and Young actually go way back to their days at BYU. During Steve Young's junior season in 1982, Andy Reid was a graduate assistant for the Cougars. Number one with a huge win. Number one with a big loss. That's next. Sports Center all night. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from Super Bowl 57. Don't miss that at 7:15 a.m. Eastern on Monday morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Monday morning on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
This is Sports Center all night.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-685-4718 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-685-4718. That's 800-685-4718. What do you have to lose? Call 800-685-4718. Again, 800-685-4718.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, when you emerge from that dark room in which he is sitting and someone gets word to you, hey, you know, the Jets have the best offensive and defensive rookies in the sport, and they can afford you, that's a pretty attractive little combination there. That is a great day to be a Jet fan yesterday.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on 98.7 ESPN.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nice run. It's great being back out on the mountain. You sort of disappeared for a while. Everything okay? Between you and me, it was lower testosterone. Lower T? Yeah. The doc told me once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to stay in shape. That's why I started taking Nugenix Total T. It's made a huge difference. Oh, I've seen that on TV. Is it for real? For sure. It's the #1 doctor-recommended testosterone booster. It boosts free and total testosterone levels to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. My wife, my boss, my kids, everyone has noticed a change in me.
Do they still give out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yes, just send them a text.
Guys, text HEFTY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. Text HEFTY to 321-321. That's HEFTY to 321-321.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-351-4242. 800-351-4242. 800-351-4242.
Every piece of land has a story. Some right there's behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor, like the Upshaws.
This is my tractor Penny. It's all about attention to detail.
But the Nelsons love cruising around their expansive Montana ranch in their John Deere Gator UV.
We've been here since 1868.
While the Caggianos drive a John Deere zero-turn mower to keep their Long Island brewery looking sharp.
Don't call me, don't bother me. I'm going out to mow for a couple hours.
Run with us and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
There's the highs in Kansas City. There's the lows in Philly. Sports Center All Night, ESPN Radio.
Here's Butker. Butker for what could be and should be the winning 3 points. The ball is spotted. The kick is up. And the kick is good. And the Chiefs lead 38-35 with 8 seconds remaining.
As I was out in Philly, Sports Radio 94 WIP, that field goal by the Chiefs, handing the Eagles Super Bowl loss, 38-35. Philly coach Nick Sirianni.
It always hurts, right? Anytime you don't come out on top, regardless of what you're competing at, it burns you, and it gets a lot of credit to them. All the credit to them. They played a great game. It's a really good football team, well-coached football team. But it hurts. And like I said, we'll use this pain, we'll use this failure for motivation for us moving forward.
You either win or you learn. That's how I feel. You either win or you learn. So, as always, win, lose, or draw. I always reflect on the things that I could have done better, things we could have done better, to try and take that next step, and that'll be the same process that goes on now.
Jalen Hurts, who had 304 yards passing and a touchdown pass, also ran for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns. The 70 rushing yards, most by a quarterback in Super Bowl history. The 3 rushing touchdowns ties Terrell Davis for the most rushing touchdowns in a Super Bowl, but it comes on the losing end for the Eagles on Sunday. Sports Center All Night, ESPN Radio. Prior to us having our attention turned to Super Bowl 57, we had college hoops action, and a huge one with 2 of the top 3 teams in the nation, pair of unbeatens. Number 1, South Carolina, at home hosting number 3, LSU.
And then there was one undefeated team left in the nation. It's the South Carolina Gamecocks. They have 5 different players in double figures. They have shown they can score inside. They can score out. They have shown that they are locked in together defensively and control the glass. Yes, that's a recipe for a possible repeat. 31 straight wins for South Carolina. They have beaten 19 straight ranked opponents. And today they did it shooting 57% from the field.
88-64 the final. Dawn Staley, South Carolina coach, gets her 8th straight win in top 5 matchups.
There is a lot of pressure on your team to remain undefeated. How did they handle that and this stage and this crowd today? I mean, they're walking in their truth. This is what they do. They build habits to play on the biggest stage of college women's basketball. And then this crowd right here, how can you not? How can you not rise to the challenge of playing in front of 18,000 screaming fans that pushed us over the victory line? Your team was relentless on the glass, relentless defending a good LSU team. How did you see them rise to that occasion? We don't want to lose, and we certainly don't want to lose in our building. We don't lose very often here. So we want to make sure that we took care of that. So, I mean, our players are, they're driven. They're driven. They're competitive. They want to win at all costs, and they want to do it for each other.
South Carolina getting its 31st straight win, 19 straight wins against ranked opponents as well. Sports Center All Night, ESPN Radio. Number 1 in action on the men's side as well. Purdue on the road facing unranked Northwestern.
Highbury protecting the ball. Purdue's not going to foul. And for the first time ever, the Northwestern Wildcats have knocked off the number 1 team in the country. They have defeated the Purdue Boilermakers 64-58. And the fans have stormed the court as we expected here at Welsh Ryan Arena.
Out on Lear Field, Northwestern gets the win. First ever against the number one team in program history. ESPN analyst Jordan Cornette.
KC is the coach of the year in the Big Ten, without question. And I understand that Matt Painter is in that mix. He's got the number one team in the country, yet still I look to Coach Collins and what he's done. Why? His front line left. This was a guy that many believed wasn't fit to be the coach at Northwestern. They're crazy for thinking that. But this year, all he's done is replace Ryan Young, who went to Duke, and then also Pete Nance, who went to North Carolina.
Northwestern enter the day as a number 10 seed, according to our Joe Lenardi. Michigan State, a 62-41 win over Ohio State. Ohio State had 14 points at halftime. The battle at the line did not go how we expected. That's next. Sports Center all night. It's ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, champions of the football world. That's 2 and counting in this era. Is it time to consider Mahomes for the greatest of all time? It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Nick Friedel. The Nets, even a few weeks ago, still thought they could make a legit run at a title. And now today, having moved Kevin Durant right after moving Kyrie Irving and realizing they are back at square one is almost hard to believe for any other team. In the end, once they moved Kyrie, that Kevin knew that this team was no longer good enough.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-901-3322. 800-901-3322. 800-901-3322. Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
Bart Starr didn't play much his senior season at Alabama after a coaching change left most seniors on the bench. That didn't stop the Green Bay Packers from taking a chance on Starr, drafting him in the 17th round of the 1956 NFL Draft. The gamble paid off. Starr went on to a Hall of Fame career with 5 NFL championships, as well as winning the first 2 Super Bowls in NFL history, winning the MVP of both.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When there's a chance for a championship trophy, you need to have the right people in the right positions. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 875 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people faster. Go to linkedin.com/sports to post your job for free. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
The ESPN New York app is here.
Aloha
Aloha, Nick.
Aloha, guys. But I have downloaded the app, so now I'm a fully app official out here in Hawaii.
Listen in Hawaii. Listen wherever. We don't care. Take us everywhere. Plus, you can download all your favorite 98.7 exclusive podcasts like Game Misconduct, Flight Deck, and Breaking Big Blue, the ESPN New York app. Available now on the App Store and Google Play. Just download the app for instant enjoyment. Don't miss the #1 rated afternoon drive show in New York. It's the Michael K. Show. And it's every weekday at 2:55 on 98.7 ESPN.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average. Call or click today. Find out if they could save you hundreds on your car insurance.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center All Night.
South Carolina wins its top 3 matchup with LSU in women's hoops. Purdue loses again on the men's side as the nation's #1. Celtics beating the Grizzlies, hitting three-pointers. Again, they've made 65 in their last 3 games. And the Lombardi Trophy is back in Kansas City.
The Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 57.
You're in the Super Bowl. You can worry about getting it healthy in the off season. So I just kind of fought through, and we were able to win the game.
It's the best feeling in the world, man. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many I got left, but I'm sure going to cherish this one forever.
Everything we worked for is for this moment. You have to enjoy this moment. You can't let the moment overtake you.
I wanted this one more than I ever wanted a game ever in my life.
I mean, if there was any doubters left, there shouldn't be now.
Chiefs coming from 10 points down at halftime. They rally for the win 38-35, getting a 27-yard field goal from Harrison Butker with 8 seconds to go for the win. Kansas City had 4 possessions in the second half, 3 touchdowns, and the game-winning field goal. ESPN analysts Booger McFarland and Hall of Famer Steve Young.
You know what? There's a piece about it's 24-14.
Yes.
We touched the ball 3 times in the first half.
Yes.
3 times. And we come out and we say to ourselves, relax. Let's run, like you said, let's run the football. It was run, Kelsey, run, Watson, run, scramble, run. Like they came out and just, I think, said the message for the rest of the game, and then it was 24-21. You know, with the Chiefs, if they're within a score, you're essentially behind.
They do it all year. And we talk about a lot about this Eagles defensive line, the pride of that Kansas City offensive line, and even the defensive coordinator again and playing some man-to-man. When Pat saw man, he took off running. And he talked about not running sideways, but running straight down the hill. His ability to scramble and understand when he got situations where he could run, I thought was paramount in the second half. And what about this offensive line again? Accepting the challenge for them.
They were
outrush
all day.
The Eagles.
Yep.
That's phenomenal.
Flip it. How about that defensive line and defensive front for the Chiefs?
Yes.
All we heard about was the Eagles and their running game, and they brought it.
Yeah.
They could not run the football.
Other than the quarterback.
Jalen Hurts got out. We recognize that as kind of an anomaly to the defensive front. What they came to do, they did.
Yes.
And they shut down, and it never got better. The Eagles needed to reestablish things in the second half, cut some time off the clock.
They could do it.
They could not do it. Give the Chiefs defense for standing up and making it. Probably the biggest threat the Eagles have is that run game.
Without a doubt.
Without the RPO.
And you saw them time and time again try to establish the run. But time and time again, that Chiefs defense stepped up and stopped them. And they put the ball. Now, Hurts had an outstanding game. Hurts played really well. But their ability or lack thereof to run the ball was the difference.
Chiefs with the 3rd Super Bowl victory in franchise history, 1969 and 2019. The other 2, but 2 of the 3 Super Bowl championships coming in the era of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, 182 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. And, he also scampered for 44 yards on the ground despite that injured ankle, which was in obvious pain at the end of the second quarter. But after the win, he spoke with our primetime crew.
Congratulations.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you.
At the end of the second quarter, the limp was not the ankle. What was it?
It was the ankle, but when you have those high ankle sprains, you always re-aggravate them. And I told y'all at the beginning of the week, there's nothing that's going to keep me off that football field. And so I was able to battle through, but I mean, I shout out to my teammates, man. My offensive line stepped up against one of the greatest defensive lines, it seems like, of all time. So I challenged them. They knew I was limping a little bit, and they gave me enough time to make throws.
And then early on in the third quarter, you had a scramble. There was a key play, an important play that probably told you we're good to go, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was going to push it. I challenged those guys in the locker room. I said, leave everything you have these last 30 minutes on the football field, and if I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to do the same. So I'm just proud of our guys, man. We had a lot of young guys in that locker room, and to be in that moment and to respond like that, man, it's special.
How does it feel to get 2?
It hasn't even sat in yet. I think just the time of my career I got it, and the failure of the last 2 years of losing the Super Bowl and losing an AFC Championship game, this one hits different. The first one, it was all like happy-go-lucky, everything like that. This one, you appreciate the hard work that it took to get here.
Pat, you guys outscored them 24-11 in the second half. What was the adjustment at halftime that you guys made?
Yeah, we just challenged each other. I mean, first off, our defense had to get stops.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of stops against a great offense. Those critical third downs, they started finally getting those stops, and they were close all game, and they got enough stops, and the offense responded, and we were able to get some drives going. And I said it, man, the offensive line stepped up in that second half and gave me enough time and ran the football, and that's why we won the game.
It looked like a mix of a lot of things. All of a sudden, here's Juju Smith-Schuster. All of a sudden, here's Tony on that play to the right. Different times, different things. You guys had a lot of different formations, more than usual.
Yeah. Coach Reed had a great game plan. I knew it going in, and he got everybody involved. And I said it before the season, it's going to be everybody, except it's going to be Kelsey too. So it's going to be everybody and Kelsey that are going to make plays, and you saw that today.
How about Coach Reed? It seemed like when you scored, people were walking in the end zone. A lot of that is a sign of tactical advantage with the play calling and what was coming out, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, we have the best coaches in the league, and I understand how lucky I am whenever you get throw wide open touchdowns against one of the best defenses in the league. And so they did a great job scheming. Coach Reed obviously is the best offensive coach probably of all time. And then you have other coaches that have that learned under him, and they put their blueprint in the game plan. And so I'm so excited, man. I can't wait to celebrate these young guys, man, and get to experience that with them.
A lot was talked about this Eagle offensive line. They got the best offensive line in the league. Y'all outrushed them by 43 yards. Was that a point of emphasis all week long?
Oh, yeah. Our offensive line was ready to go. I mean, we had a ton of respect for their offensive line. They got great players, Hall of Fame players over there. But we thought that we got lost in the fold was they were talking about their defensive line and their offensive line, and we thought our offensive line was pretty good as well. So we challenged those guys, and they accepted the challenge. It wasn't pretty the whole time, but they fought, and that's all you can ask for with those big guys up front. And we knew if they won their matchup, that we would win the game.
You know, it also looked like a lot of times, Patrick, that you weren't keeping in the second half. Of course, you're behind. 4 wide, maybe 1 back to chip. You knew your offensive line would handle that rush. It's almost like we dare you to come get me.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, at the end of the day, man, it comes up to those guys up front. It comes up to them having the block one-on-one against great pass rushers. And early in the game, we gave them some help, gave them some different looks, but we got behind, and we had to trust in those guys, and they accepted the challenge, man. We have 5 guys that are Pro Bowl caliber guys, and so to have that is a luxury for me. That's the reason we won this game.
So at halftime, everyone holds their breath. It was the most limp that I've seen in a couple of weeks from you going into halftime. Did it just sting and get better, or did you just have to gut it out?
Yeah, there's a little bit of both. I mean, whenever you re-aggravate those high ankles, man, it hurts. It feels like it did the first time.
Stings, yeah.
But it kind of gets a shock. I call it like when you have the stim machine on and it shocks you all the way up through your calf. So that hurt. But I mean, you got to play. Y'all know you got to play. You got to play at the end of the day. Well, you go out there and play.
Well, it didn't seem to get worse. You came out in the second half. It just felt like it stung for a little bit, and then it got at least went away a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't cut more. I just started running straight, and it relied on my 4.8 speed to get upfield.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Patrick Mahomes with our primetime crew on the field after the Super Bowl victory. Mahomes, first player in NFL history to win multiple championships and multiple league MVPs within his first 6 seasons. And footnote to Sunday, Super Bowl 57 gives us a quarterback that's going out with a ring. No, not Mahomes. Chad Henne takes to social media with a beer in hand, says he's calling it a career. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Andy Reid, first head coach in the big pro sports in North America to win each of his first 2 championships in his 20th season or later. Third head coach to defeat his former team in the Super Bowl, joining John Gruden and Weeb Eubank. Reid spent 14 seasons, of course, as the Eagles' head coach. And then there was the other storyline during the week, Travis Kelce in Kansas City. He gets a ring. His brother Jason does not. Travis Kelce, 6 catches in the win, 81 yards and a touchdown, and he picks up his second ring.
It's a whole other feeling to get to. I wanted this one more than I ever wanted a game ever in my life. And, the guys in this locker room, the teammates that I have, they felt the same way. This was the happiest year of my life, man. And both off the field, on the field, to see my family be in all its glories, get all the flowers. My mom be the center of attention on the Jumbotron before the game, on the biggest stage. Being able to get closer with my brother throughout the season. And then meet him at the mountaintop. It's the best feeling in the world, man. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many I got left, but I'm sure going to cherish this one forever.
Travis Kelce sharing a hug with his brother after the Super Bowl as well. Eagles take the loss on Sunday. They finished the season 16-4, including the postseason. 16 wins, tied for their most in the season in franchise history. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio to the NBA, and we had a showdown between the Celtics and the Grizzlies, and Boston going from distance again.
Tatum with 13 points working. Ball on the left side. Now explodes against Tillman. Pass to the corner. Up top, White for 3. It's in. Derek White. Big second half for the Celtics. They now lead by 15.
Beautiful assist from JT.
Tatum against Aldama. Passes to the left, a bad pass, but Horford comes up with a 2 to shoot. He sees the clock, he shoots the 3, and he hits it at the end of the shot clock. He had nothing and turned it into a 3 to put Boston up a dozen.
Celtics go on to a 10-point win, 119-109 over the Grizzlies. Boston making 65 three-pointers over the course of their last 3 games. After the win, Jason Tatum with our Cassidy Hubbard.
Jason, you didn't have a field goal in the second half, but it didn't matter. What did you make about how you guys competed and closed this one out in the fourth?
Yeah, whether it's a good shoe night or a bad shoe night, the ultimate goal is to win. Find a way to contribute to winning, whether it's setting screens, be a decoy, get stops, and guys knock down shots. This was another big team win with guys out, we'll take it.
Hot again from 3, 21 threes again tonight. This is actually the most threes you guys have hit in a 3-game span in franchise history. How do you describe just the weapon you guys are from distance?
We're getting good shots, right? And throughout the course of the season, if you continue to generate good shots, sometimes they're going to go in, sometimes they're not. But it's all about playing the right way and passing up good shots for great shots. And if we keep doing that, hopefully we keep, shooting this way.
And with so much depth, obviously, no Jalen, no Malcolm Brogdon, and of course still no Marcus Smart. But you got Sam Hauser stepping up, new Celtic Mike Muscala, Derek White again. Your depth is such a definition of this team. But now at 41 wins, what is your confidence level as you're looking towards the playoffs going forward?
Yeah, we got some true professionals on this team, right? Guys that always stay ready, regardless of, when they think their number's going to get called. Who's ever in, who's ever out, we have the next man up mentality. And the goal is always the same each night, is to find a way to win, regardless of who we have or what's going on, find a way to win.
Celtics get the 10-point win over the Grizzlies. Jason Tatum and company getting the 10-point victory. It was a game that you heard here on ESPN Radio on Super Bowl Sunday. Mark Kessler and PJ Carlissimo had the call for us. Mark?
Jay, thank you very much. Well, before the Super Bowl was played, there was a very well-played game in Boston this afternoon between the Celtics and the Grizzlies, 2 of the best in the league. It was a strange game, PJ. Both teams had big leads. Both had comebacks. Celtics dominated the fourth quarter. How'd they get the victory?
They made their threes. 28 assists for the Boston Celtics. Their ball movement was beautiful the entire game. They had good spacing. They had a bunch of inside-out assists where they had penetration and just turned around, found a teammate on the perimeter. Derek White had 10 assists to show the way. He had a double-double, 23 and 10. But as a team, they shot 21 for 51 from the three-point line, 41%. Memphis got their points in the paint the way they always do, 60 to only 34 for Boston. But you don't need points in the paint when you got 21 threes.
Jason Tatum went 0 for 8 in the second half, but you mentioned it. Derek White stepped up. That's what makes this Celtics team so lethal. Not just guys that step up
in the game today, but the fact that they didn't have Marcus Smart, they didn't have Jaylen Brown, they didn't have Malcolm Brogdon. It's an incredibly deep team here in Boston.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's 3 mega guards, really big-time guards, all missing. Who steps up? Nobody's, Sam Hauser has been playing extremely well. Sam Hauser and Derek White is their starting backcourt. They played really well. Don't forget Peyton Pritchard. Now we're going deeper down the bench. Peyton Pritchard was 4 for 7 and had 3 assists. Everybody is stepping up for this team. Mike Muscala, is that his second game as a Celtic?
Number 2.
He looks like he's been playing here for 2 years. Open shots, they find him. He made some good plays inside, and he spent a good chunk of the game, believe it or not, guarding John Morant. Are you kidding me? You can't ask a new guy to play any better than Muscala's played.
Well, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to have to wait a little longer to end a losing streak here on the parquet that dates back to 2013. Their 9th straight loss in Boston. Celtics, their 41st win of the season. That leads all NBA teams. They beat the Grizzlies 119-109. Now for PJ Carlissimo, I'm Mark Kestisher right here on your home for NBA All-Star Weekend, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Now let's go back to our pal Jay Reynolds in the studio.
All right, Mark, thanks. Celtics have won 14 of the last 15 now against the Grizzlies. Sunday's other NBA game, Raptors a 1-point win over the Pistons, 119-118. Meanwhile, in New Orleans, the Pelicans say Zion Williamson with his hamstring, he's going to miss what they say are multiple weeks. Guess who's shopping in New York? That's next. SportsCenter all night at ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap everything from Super Bowl 57, the game, the commercials, and, of course, Rihanna's halftime show. Keyshawn, J. Willimax, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
More SportsCenter all night. Next.
The Bart and Hahn Show.
What does the rest of the league think of you right now? You had 3 guys, and James Harden was there for a minute. I was like, get me out of here. Kyrie just completely destroyed your franchise. And Kevin Durant didn't want to be there the minute they traded away the guy that destroyed your franchise. And you come out of it with,
well, I got a bunch of picks.
Hang that banner of all your draft picks, put that right next to beat the Knicks 9 straight times.
Bart Scott and Alan Hahn. Weekdays at noon on 98.7 ESPN.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-311-1832 now. I'm here with spokesman for the firm, John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call in.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here with you. We always enjoy answering the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you how much your case is potentially worth. Call 800-311-1832.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now to speak with a live agent for free. Call 800-311-1832.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a karate teacher to trim their hedges.
Yeah! Man, these shrubs are not made of plywood. Don't worry, another few chops should do it. Yeah! Nope! Yeah! Dang!
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Oh, this treehouse looks like particle board. Yeah! There we go. I'm starting to doubt myself.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
We're taking you to Key, Jay and Max, 6 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN Radio. Sports Center All Night, presented by Progressive Insurance. While we were watching the Super Bowl this weekend, the Jets have asked the Packers if Aaron Rodgers is available. Jets have said they're in the market for a veteran quarterback this offseason. They all have also hired Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers' former offensive coordinator in Green Bay. Buffalo's Damar Hamlin says that he eventually wants to play again. Eventually. He says that's the goal. He said he's a competitor and he wants to get back on the field. For as compelling as Super Bowl 57 got in the second half, a lot of feelings shifted just inside the 2-minute warning. Patrick Mahomes throws incomplete on 3rd and 8. Would have forced them to kick a field goal and give the ball back to the Eagles with about 1:50 to go. Instead, holding on Philly on that play, first down for Kansas City. They ultimately kicked the game winner with 8 seconds to go. As for the penalty, it was questioned on the Fox broadcast, crucified on social media. But as for the guy who it was called on, James Bradbury.
I mean, that's not up for my judgment. You know, I was hoping he would let it go, but of course, you know, he's a ref. It's a big game. It was a hold, so they called it.
Bradbury says it was a hold. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
I don't think this game is defined by one play. One play throughout the game, one call, whatever it was.
The Eagles wind up losing by the field goal that followed the call. As for Sunday's top sounds, let's bring in Jim Basquel.
Number 5.
Jay, all 5 of our choices naturally come from Super Sunday, beginning with the longest punt return in Super Bowl history. After scoring a touchdown to put KC up, Kadarius Toney took this one back 65 yards.
At 10:33 to go in the game, Sipas will punt. End over end, shorter punt, and Toney will take it low at the 35. Now cuts back to the right. He's got a wall set. If he can get to the edge, they can need to block the punter. They do. Toney's at the 40, up the sideline, at the 30. He's at the 20. Toney with the block trying to stay in play. He's down to the 5-yard line. Toney ran out of gas on a 65-yard punt return. And the Chiefs lead 28-27. They'll have first down and goal to go at the Eagles' 5-yard line with 10-11 to go in the game.
Number 4.
That Toney take back set up this 3rd and goal call with Patrick Mahomes going to the sky.
9:26 to go in the game. 3rd down, goal to go at the 4-yard line of Philadelphia. Audible called by Patrick Mahomes. Ball will be snapped in the center of the field with McKinnon, the running back. A pass left side, wide open, Sky Moore, touchdown! Kansas City on a pivot route, and Kansas City has a chance now to get up by 8 points on a 4-yard touchdown pass. Mahomes to Sky Moore.
Number 3.
A huge play came in the second quarter with the Eagles up 7. They had just forced the Chiefs' punt when this hurt for Jalen. He coughed it up with Nick Bolton there to scoop and score.
Spread set. Works by himself in the backfield. Threat to run and throw. Crouches down. He wants to run it. The ball's out. He kicks the ball. It's picked up by Kansas City. They're going to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Kansas City. A defensive score by Nick Bolton. Hurts got hit and kicked the ball. Picked up by Bolton. And the Chiefs defense gets an incredible touchdown.
Number 2.
Playing through a high ankle sprain that was aggravated in the first half, Patrick Mahomes led 4 second-half scoring drives for KC, and despite the bum ankle, was able to do this to set up the game winner.
Pacheco's the running back. Toney comes in motion. Here comes pressure to the outside. As Mahomes steps up, he's going to scramble. He's at the 40, bad ankle, 30, bad ankle, 20. Tackled from behind down to the Eagle 18-yard line, a 25-yard scramble.
Number 1.
After they ran down the clock, Harrison Butker followed with a 27-yard field goal with 8 seconds to go. All that was left for the Chiefs to secure their second Super Bowl in 4 seasons One last stop. All the calls from Mitch Holthus, 106.5 The Wolf.
6 seconds left in Super Bowl 57 regulation. Hurts takes the snap. The Chiefs only rushing 2 on a delay. Clock is going to be out of time, and the pass is going to be underthrown. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Everyone who claims the Chiefs Kingdom will raise a banner above the National Football League again for the second time in 4 seasons. The Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection, a big red reflection. The Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 57.
And Andy Reid gets another ring. He's about a month away from turning 65.
I look in the mirror and I'm old. My heart, though, is young. I mean, I still enjoy doing what I'm doing. I got asked that 50 times here. And finally, I just go, whatever, man, whatever. And that's a good friend. Jay Glazer's a good friend. So, I mean, he's probably telling me to get my tail out. I'm too old, but I'm good with what I'm doing right now. So.
He becomes the 3rd head coach to defeat his former team in the Super Bowl. You'll hear all the key plays next. Sports Center all night at ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, now that the NBA is done wheeling and dealing, I'll tell you which 2 teams are head and shoulders above the rest. Keyshawn.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-311-1832 now. I'm here with spokesman for the firm, John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call in.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here with you. We always enjoy answering the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you how much your case is potentially worth. Call 800-311-1832.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now to speak with a live agent for free. Call 800-311-1832.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
You know what's amazing, though, with this whole Kevin Durant thing is he left the absolute perfect situation because he wasn't getting the credit he wants. But there was still that question. Could KD go to a team where it's his team and win a championship? Well, you just got a chance to see it. I guess the answer is no. That's it. It's him recognizing that he can't do it and how this affects his legacy moving forward, depending on what happens this season and for the rest of his career. This was his opportunity, and he made the mistake of he hitched wagon to Kyrie.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on 98.7 ESPN.
Recurring automated marketing text message.
With a huge win. Number 1 with a big loss. That's next. Sports Center all night at ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from Super Bowl 57. Don't miss that at 7:15 a.m. Eastern on Monday morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Monday morning on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
This is Sports Center all night.
just completely destroyed your franchise. And Kevin Durant didn't want to be there the minute they traded away the guy that destroyed your franchise. And you come out of it with,
well, I got a bunch of picks.
Hang that banner of all your draft picks, put that right next to beat the Knicks.